One round of applause for the great Rod Laver. How full does it make your heart that, like, ideas are easy, execution is obviously harder?
Yep.
Where Rocket Rod is there tonight, watching someone last night who was born 12 days before Andre retired in Fonseca.
Yeah, that was wild.
So you have successfully bridged the generations and brought back in, we didn't see much of Andre before 18 months ago.
Right.
We didn't see, I had spent time with Yannick the first time 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Right. He's someone who's kind of coming, operation successful, right? Connecting generations.
Well, that's the thing as well that I really thought be so cool if I personally could spend time with Bjorn Borg. On a personal note.
Did you just do it for you?
Yeah, it was actually a selfish move. Most selfish move I ever did. No, honestly, those things matter. And actually, it's the little interactions, like maybe you meeting Yannick for the first time 3 days ago, Joao, being in the locker room talking about the game with Andre Agassi. That's what I wanted, is that these players, when they come to the Laver Cup and when they leave, they feel super inspired and motivated for what's to come. And they had here a little week at the Laver Cup that really they learned something about the history of the game and who has again paved the way, and just spend time together also and create a team that normally doesn't get a chance to spend time together or play on the same team. So it's gone much better than I would have ever thought, but it's true, we had to think this whole thing through in many different ways. Also, how did the points work? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. How long is the tournament? Is it a week? Is it 3 days? How many sessions, etc. So we have to think of every possible scenario. But it's been a fun process, I like those kind of things.
Yeah.
And you've created this tennis festival. You mentioned the interactions and the generations, but also this is competition. There is an intensity here.
Yeah.
Did you know that the players were going to buy in and it would have this kind of heft?
Yes, yes. There was not going to be clowning around, giggling. We can do other things for that. We can go play an EXO together once and have a good time for that. But the good thing for me personally, of course, was also being part of the inaugural Laver Cup, being there, in the early years, so I could set the tone as well of how I would like it to be played. Because I always feel if you, buy a hefty ticket and you come watch the greatest players on earth play tennis, you want to see them play tennis and not be a bad clown on the court. Now, so that's why so there is enough smiling, they're giggling, having great times, but when the ball is being hit, it needs to be hit with purpose and for a reason, and I think also to honor the great man like Rod Laver and the past generation. So that was definitely the goal for me, and I'm happy I was there to also be part of that process.
Yeah, and one of the things with success of an event is it creates an expectation. Can we do it again? And one of the things that I look around and think, when this concept was first announced, I'm going, well, sure, it's going to work because Roger could fill a building, right? People come to watch him. He's beloved around the world. Now to see it.
Don't do that. Andy doesn't want to hear this. And by the way, me neither. So.
Sick of it still. No, but in all seriousness, you playing makes sense, right? We can fill a building. To see how this thing has lived on past your participation, I have to think that probably was viewed, okay, this is a speed bump, this is going to be a challenge. When I take myself out of the building and we can't kind of be world's home team, it's another challenge. You have to be happy. People like Carlos coming through and feeling
very much so. Yeah, I'm obviously incredibly pumped up that Carlos is here right after winning the US Open. It's amazing for the people here in San Francisco to get a chance to see him and being on the team. It really, it means a lot because, as we know, if you're a tournament organizer, anybody can pull out last minute. There's no guarantees, so that he's here and he's actually excited and the whole team is here. He didn't just come in all by himself, even though we also suggest that, so he completely immerses himself into the team environment aspect. It's big, and you're right. And the questions are completely fair as well. Is the Laver Cup going to be successful? Post Roger, when I'm not on the tennis court anymore, and those early years after my retirement also were a little bit tricky. Because the press were asking those questions. How is it going to go? Are the players going to show up? And you don't have the answer, then you say, I think so, and I hope so, you know, and I'm going to try my best with my contacts, and we treat them nicely, and the fans will appreciate it, and we'll hopefully be at the Chase Center and have like the most incredible week, and you hope that that's enough, you know. And then of course the change of captains as well, that's kind of a tiny risk, because we're not going from John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg to just some random person. We're going to other legends like an Andre and Yannick, and I'm happy that we navigated, it seems like now, well through this process, which is great.
Talk us through some of the strategic factors. Obviously, I said that there was a vote for just to make it a residency in Chase Center and just play it here every year. This crowd seemed to like it, but I said you might piss off Earth if you do that. But talk through strategically about the impact, how you kind of vet where to go and where you're going to take this year to year.
Look, it's a decision or a discussion we have frequently with Tony and the team. It's obviously way easier to just say like, okay, let's do San Francisco every year, because build up such a massive operation, just 3 days is pretty crazy to do, you know. But I do think it's worth it to bring tennis to certain markets maybe, or certain cities that maybe haven't seen so much tennis in the past. So that's obviously one thing that resonated very heavily with me. Now I'm contradicting myself, because we're going to London back next.
Is there tennis normally in London?
Well, I'm not so sure. So we thought, let's try it out and see if they like it. So, I mean, look, it's gonna be great, you know. But of course, you could do several years here, several years in another place, or you always rotate between, let's say, I don't know, San Francisco and London. You could look at that, or you could go to the Grand Slam sites that I think also would be amazing to host it around the 4 Grand Slam sites. So, but I mean, they obviously see tennis, so we're still a little flexible on what it is, but for the time being, I think being here, being in London, and then I don't know where we're going to go. Eventually, it would be amazing to go to maybe Asia, South America. It would be nice to take this thing around the world.
You played your last match here at Laver Cup, and we have some footage that hopefully our team will roll here. But just talk through the emotions of, you know, obviously I think you wanted to play more.
That was tough.
It's fine. He's still here. He still has great hair.
I'm a grown man. I mean, this is so long ago. I'm not like this anymore.
No, but just walk through that weekend, because I know we were all. I mean, you ruined my life for a decade, and I was still emotional when I was watching it, right? Like, and the fact that Rafa was there and that Novak was there, and maybe imperfect, maybe not what how quickly you wanted to retire based on, but health came for you at a certain point. Just walk through how special that experience was, and now you walk through this event knowing this was the last place that I played.
It is a process that I lived very vividly, because I always knew that retirement for me was going to be really difficult, you know, because I mean, I love the sport and it meant so much to me, the fans, the people working behind the scenes, and my family, my tennis friends and everyone. So it was going to be hard, you know, and I knew that, and I just didn't know where I was going to retire, you know, and my knee was getting so silly, and I realized I couldn't really come back anymore. So I took a summer break, and then I had to really almost just get out of the sport. But the question is like, where was it going to be? And then I either looked at, I guess, US Open, Swiss Indoors in Basel, or Laver Cup in London. And somehow something resonated with me that I didn't want to be alone on court when I retired. And the team aspect, I feel like I've always been a team player at heart. And doing it maybe in London, where I've maybe had some of my most successful, you know, matches, maybe it's an omen, I don't know. And I ended up doing it there, and I just hoped it was not going to be all sad and just bad. I just hoped it was going to be happy and upbeat, and it was that. And it was way better than I ever thought it was going to be. So yeah, walking around now, the Laver Cup sure brings back the memories, and in a big way next year when we go back to the O2 at least then.
You weren't just not alone that day. You were sharing a court with your great rival, with Rafa, and now there's some murmurs out there. Maybe a little Federer Nadal.
Well, we've been talking a while.
Test audience seems to like it.
Since maybe playing in EXO, but I saw him in the summer, and I asked him when's the last time you played tennis, and it was in November. So he's not ready. But we need to, I'm not ready really, I guess, to a certain level. But it would be nice to get on court together, not just with Rafa, but with you, Andy, or with anyone really, because I think it's nice to spread the love for tennis and inspire the young generation and be around the people. I don't know, I love it. So I had to take a bit of a break, you know, from just being on court, and maybe now it's time to maybe soon rip the band-aid off. I'm not sure, but I would love it, and maybe if...
Okay, so I know everyone, like, you always hear, yes, Roger, and this, like, yes, okay. I'm gonna shoot you straight.
Tell me.
No one wants to see that shit, man.
Okay.
I'm obviously joking. Everyone wants to see that. That would be amazing. So one of the things, we sat down with Rafa on this show, and obviously his respect for you is well documented, and I know that respect goes...
Was he good on the podcast, by the way?
He was fantastic. Oh my gosh, he was...
I watched it, of course. What are you talking about?
I assume you're not searching YouTube in your spare time. Like,
I never know. I got time now, you know.
But he was fantastic. But you mentioned your knee, and then he mentioned his injuries, and it's like he took his, like, just so everyone knows how hard the players are playing for you in there and how rough this is physically. He took his shoe off. It looks like there's an animal living inside of his foot. Like, it is...
I know it, I've seen it.
It's disgusting. It's like, I would say you should see it, but I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's absolutely disgusting. One thing that I think you have completely undersold is, I think a lot of players, when they get hurt, will put out an update every step along the way. I know that your knee went bad, worse, really bad. I saw you in Boston in 21, the year before you retired, and you were hiding your crutches to take photos.
Yeah. Those crutches don't need to be on the picture.
Your knee was terrible, but talk about kind of the mental gymnastics of being relatively healthy for your entire career.
Yeah.
And then having to deal with this kind of physicality for the first time. And it's not a new story. Yeah. Athletes have to go through it, but what was your personal journey with it, and how does it stand now? Are you
it's a great question, because I was always famous for, he's never injured, you know, he doesn't have...
Never retired from a match, by the way, is one of my favorite stats in tennis.
Yeah, I mean, once I got on court, I dealt with it and finished it, even though many matches I didn't feel perfect, you know, and I dealt with some, you know, back issues and hand stuff, foot things, but never to the extent like the knee at the end. And it's really only once you've maybe had surgery or you're out for extended period of time, you really start being really unbelievably appreciative of how good you used to feel, and how unworried you were running for a ball across the court and like stopping on a dime. All of a sudden you're thinking everything through, every possible moment of the match, you know. So everything changes in a massive way, and I've always been the kind of player or person that I didn't want either my opponent or the world or the press needing to know about every step of the way of my injuries, but also to protect myself, you know, I guess to a certain level, that my opponent doesn't know, like, okay, bad knee, really bad knee, so I'm going to make him run around. Whereas on the other side, Rafa was super honest about his issues, and I'd be like, why is he saying all of that? And me, I almost cannot get out of my chair with my bad back, but everybody thinks I'm perfect. So I don't know what's better or worse, you know, but you go about it in a different way. And it was definitely hard the last years, especially also navigating through the media, where I know I was maybe at 80% certain times, and you know they judge me at 100%, but I know I'm not, and it's hard for the team because everybody is trying to keep a very quiet way about it, of how bad things really were. But look, at the end of the day, I still am incredibly grateful. I had the most amazing career with a good and a bad body, like all the players did. It's just that all came together really at the very end.
Yeah.
I'm struck that you're describing it, and then you think, wait, it was only 3 years ago that we were in London. It was only 4 years ago that you had that injury. And I'm wondering, men's tennis looks quite different, at least in terms of names. When you're up there looking down on tennis today, what are you seeing? What are you noticing about men's tennis?
I think, more baseline slugfest, you know, just more heavy hitting.
The old slugfest.
It's full on, baby. And it's forehand goes big, backhand goes big. Forehand goes big, backhand goes big. You know, back in the day, we used to have, every player used to have a little hole in their, in their game where they
Not
would.
me.
I mean, our backhands to backhands were massive. We would slice it against each other, you know, so there was a bit of feel to it, you know? But it's true though, that's I think what I see now, and I think it's just getting more and more physical, and I think also everybody practices that way, is they practice hitting hard like Agassi used to. I think he was one of the first to do that. Then Rafa came in, the same thing. He's the kind of guy you don't want to practice with, just going big all the time.
Explain that. This is actually very interesting because I've said this on the podcast before, and I think it's interesting. Rafa, when he won during warm up, right? You'd be in the first 5. I don't know. I'm sure he did it against you too. But what he would do is he would hit the ball as hard as he could during warm up, and then all of a sudden you'd be serving the first game of the match 30 all, and he would have a 35 ball rally, and you had no rhythm.
Yeah.
Genius about it.
Yeah.
And you couldn't practice with him because the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I really didn't like it. And same as Andre, actually. I didn't like practicing with Andre because it was just like bang, bang, bang. And I'm thinking, well, it'd be nice to roll a couple, hit a few, slice a few. And it's none of that, you know? And it's like 3 big shots and the 4th one just rockets past you like that. And anyway, that's not how I train, you know? That's also not how you do it. I mean, we have high intensity, but we do different things. So it's incredible, actually, how we all can practice and play in different ways and actually get to a successful place. Did I forget your question? Did you have a question?
It's a great
So about how the game is evolving.
There are 2 guys, obviously, that have taken the baton, and Carlos is Carlos.
I feel like there's great returning. I don't know. I feel like they return so easily nowadays.
Yes.
I don't know if it's conditions that are a bit slower, or they just better off it, you know?
But you don't see people just dump returns that often.
I mean, I feel like making returns was hard. You know, now I feel they stand there and they go.
Yeah, it was harder for most of us too.
Yeah. That's why I slice. You know, I just get it in. You know, just float it in there and figure it out.
What do you think about, so as the game changes? Obviously, we saw I don't want to say an overcorrection, but in the 90s there was a lot of talk about the conditions are too fast.
Yeah.
And we're basically just watching people walk back and forth because Becker's serving huge and Ivanisevic is serving huge.
Yeah, and Sampras.
And Pete's serving huge. And I actually remember our first 2 Wimbledon finals. I remember 2004, you're coming in after the rain delay, you're coming in all the time. Like you make the adjustment, you start coming in all the time. And then 2005, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting kind of the same because it worked for him. The conditions I thought were much slower to where you played that match mostly from the baseline, right? Is there a need to correct court surface to bring in different elements of the game?
Yes. Definitely.
I feel like you're on the fence.
I just had this conversation this morning, you know, with Riley Opelka. I told him it's not okay, and I fault myself because I part of the decision making of the court surface speed here, but it can't be that he's kick serving on the outside indoors against Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud actually can go back, even has that option indoors to go return Riley's serve, which is, you know, probably arguably one of the best serves in the game right now. And he returns it from hip height and just hit its cross-court passing shot winner on the return, on the break point.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be a little bit more difficult to be able to do that. And I think that's why we, the tournament directors, we need to fix it. We need to have not only fast court, but what we would want to see is Alcaraz or Sinner figure it out on lightning fast, and then have the same match on super slow and see how that matches up. And that's how the ranking points used to be. Remember, back in the day, only 12 tournaments counted, so everybody would play on their favorite surface.
They would stack their surfaces.
Yeah, and then they would sometimes meet. And those were the best matches, you know, when you had the attacker against the retriever. And now everybody plays similar. It's because the tournament directors have allowed, with the ball speed and the court speed, that every week is basically the same. And that's why you can just go from winning, I don't know, French, Wimbledon, US Open, and just play the same way.
And obviously my bias is going to shine through here, but there's some tool, and I'll forget what it is, but it's similar to like a step meter that measures greens in golf. Davis Cup back in the day, they used to have that, and there was this little thing they used, and it had to be, it basically measured if the court was too fast. And I said, that's great, that's responsible. I go, now show me the measurement for when it's too slow.
There's none.
Didn't exist.
Hey.
It didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, we've never thought of that. I go, that's the problem,
Yeah.
right? Like, we need variation. We need because then, I mean, you're telling me someone like a Sinner or Alcaraz, with how talented they are and how great they are already,
figure it out.
they're going to figure it out, and it's going to
Yeah.
be more fun to watch.
I think so too. And obviously, I understand the safety net that the tournament directors see,
Sure.
making the surface slower is for the weaker player. He has to hit extra amazing shots to beat Sinner, whereas if it's quick, he can only maybe blast a few and at the right time, and he gets past, you know. So that's what the tournament directors are like. Oh, I kind of like have Sinner and Alcaraz in the finals, you know. It kind of works for the game.
That's the thing. I was
That's
going
the
to say
thing.
that's the entire thing. Is
Yeah.
basically you give a surface where, you know, it kind of exposes Carlos's paintbrush even more, where he has time and he can play all the variety of shots. He's going to win on slow. He's going to win on fast.
But I think we'll get there again. I feel like
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll figure it out.
Let me ask you a big, sprawling, sweeping question. What's it like being Roger Federer in 2025? What does
a normal Tuesday look like now?
Yeah.
didn't mean
I
to
wake up much earlier than I ever thought I would. Yeah, the kids, you know, they get you out of bed. And before, I always had the excuse like, you know, practice, late finish, whatever, I need to sleep in and all that stuff, and the body needs to recover. So now, bang, out of the gates, we get up and get the kids ready for school or for activities, whatever it is, and then I go either do some gym and fitness of myself. I have phone calls once.
I mean, you've let yourself
really
go
let
a little
himself
bit.
go.
Yeah, I mean, just tighten that shit up a little bit. You know, just maybe.
Okay, I'll work on it.
Yeah.
I'll work on it. Thank you, Andy. I'll tell you the truth too.
Please don't. Please don't.
Ask him
Please stay far away from
why
that.
weren't you wearing a tie to the gala the other
Oh,
day?
stop it.
Because it was black tie.
No,
So
I know,
black
I know.
tie.
I've already told the
What
story,
happened?
Roger.
I did see you with no tie
You
actually on
want-
the
man,
carpet.
like,
You know why? Maybe,
No.
maybe Roger would like to know what happened.
What happened? A little thick around the neck or what?
Yep. That's it.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I feel that's a short mistake.
I almost pulled a tricep trying to snap that thing around my
Whoa.
neck, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna show I can leave whenever, and then Tony goes, oh, you're sitting with Roger and I at the table. Oh, great, this is perfect. This is best case scenario.
Hey,
Yes,
it's all good.
I have a beefy neck, Roger. Okay. All right.
Okay.
You probably don't have to deal with that.
It's coming down also
Yeah.
more now.
Listen, we're all here enjoying this great game today at this great tournament because of the man to my left.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
And because of Rob Laver. And I'll say this, it's not easy to like someone so much who is responsible for so much of your pain at your job. Couldn't love you more, Roger. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming out.
All right, guys, Andy. Thank you.
That's a wrap, girls. Thanks for coming out to Serve Live.
Thanks to ServiceNow for their support. ServiceNow wants to help people do the fulfilling work they actually want to do. Work like hosting this podcast. You know what people don't want to do? Boring, busy work. Now with AI agents built into the ServiceNow platform, you can automate millions of repetitive tasks in every corner of your business. IT, HR, and more. So your people can focus on the work that they want to do. And that's putting AI agents to work for you. It's your turn. Get started at servicenow.com/AI-agents.
Federer.